And welcome back. For those of you who are still with us, I am still Jim at Video Guys. Give us a call at 800 323 2325 for answers on all your live production and streaming needs. If you're just tuning in, you're just in time for our last presentation of today, which is from Alex Udell at NewTek, talking about the NewTek TriCaster systems and their live production capabilities. Anything that you have missed from earlier on in the day will be available for all of our guests who have registered for EduStream TV. And once we get that video processed, we will be happy to share that with you. Perhaps there's someone else in your school who can benefit and learn from the demos that we're talking about today. We're happy to share it with them as well. If any questions pop up, we are trying to answer them as they come up, or we are happy to talk with you after the show as well. Alex, welcome to EduStream TV.
Hey, Jim, great to be here. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I know you are going to talk about the NewTek TriCaster systems and give a nice little demo for us. Before we kick into that, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience, and then, of course, introduce the star of the show, which is the NewTek TriCaster.
Yep, my name is Alex Udell. I'm a senior sales engineer with NewTek for the Americas. I've been with NewTek for about 5 years. Long career myself in both live and post-production workflows. It's been great to be involved with NewTek. I was very excited to join such an innovative company, and they have not disappointed me in the least. From day one joining the organization, it really, as I like to describe, has been like drinking from a fire hose. They really are always on top and leading the way, creating breakthrough technologies that really do change the world and the way people work, and at the same time providing things that are actually accessible to regular folks. So it's not just changing things at the top, it's sort of changing things for everybody, which is an approach I really like.
And that's awesome. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to demo for our audience today the TriCaster systems and introduce how you can get into live production with the TriCaster and all the great features and capabilities it has available to you.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk about the TriCaster Mini 4K today as the star of the show. Of course,
Great.
Any TriCaster will, obviously fit into an educational scenario, but this one is actually kind of a sweet spot, which for a number of reasons, which I'll describe during the presentation. Price point, form factor are a couple of the reasons. And just some of the underlying technology about the way that the Mini is actually constructed as a self-contained unit makes it a star for situations, in classrooms where you want to get all the kids engaged.
Excellent. So why don't we go right into the demo then?
All right, very good.
Cool. We should have that demo going in just a sec. Here we go.
Senior sales engineer for the Americas for NewTek. If you've tuned in today, then it's likely that your school or district is interested in adding live video production as part of the content that you're teaching. Perhaps you're a magnet program and you're looking at ways to attract more students. Or maybe you've just seen how popular video programs are at other schools, other districts, and you want to know how to get more involved. My guess is if you look around and talk to folks, you'll find that the NewTek TriCaster is an extremely popular choice for all levels of educational programs. Now, applications where the TriCaster can be used include, but they're not limited to, functions of morning announcements programs, faculty communication that's internal or external to the community at large, via recorded messages or live streams. And in high school and college, you'll find us with TriCaster and other tools for sports production in a pretty big way. Also, at all levels, you'll find us for auditorium presentation and event live streaming for things like graduations, plays, things of that nature. Now, if you're just thinking about getting started, you've got a classroom that you want to turn to a studio, the TriCaster offers really a tremendous value. And the reason why is that the TriCaster philosophy is that it takes many elements which would normally require separate pieces of equipment and condenses them into one unified, streamlined device as a turnkey package of both hardware and software. Now, this again encompasses many features, but not limited to the following: the ability to switch between live camera angles. It's got integrated audio and video storage and playback. We've got integrated graphics and character generation capabilities. Audio mixing is part of the package, as are broadcast-style transition effects and the ability to layer video elements. Also, virtual sets are a big part of the package, and this is great for classrooms where you might have very limited space, but you need to make your production look like it's in a big studio. We can do that out of the box. Now, to keep your on-screen talent on track, we've also got teleprompter. And all of this can be recorded or delayed output or streamed live. Now, subsequent to this meeting today, we encourage you to come book an online demo with any one of our qualified, super awesome sales engineering team to discuss all the capabilities of every TriCaster and more at NewTek.tv. And you'll find that there are many models of TriCaster, but today I'm going to choose the Mini 4K as the unit I'm going to promote to you. And the reasons for this are a few. One is that as a mini product in the product line, its price point is very attractive to the education market. And second, physically, it's small. It's very compact in its form factor, so it fits nicely into a classroom environment where multiple racks of AV equipment may not fit. Next, the Mini 4K specifically is bundled with features inclusively, which might be add-on options even in other TriCaster models, including some of the other mini models. So, overall, it's a great, capable system and a better longer-term value. Next is that its self-contained design lets new users make use of powerful IT workflows based on our NDI technology, even in those environments where school IT policies may not allow the TriCaster to extend to the wider network right away. So let's now move to taking a look at the primary user interface of the TriCaster. This isn't a training, but what I want you to see is that there are many methods and modes of operation. So one of the things that I can start with here is what I like to call the express mode. This really hides a lot of the deeper functionality of the TriCaster and lets media really come to the forefront. Here, by clicking on tiles and using on-screen displays that are exposed, it's very easy to get started. But over time, you can move out of this express mode and move to a more traditional preview program mode of working, the switching part of the TriCaster. And what happens is that this lets you as instructors and your students progress over time and not immediately feel overwhelmed by the experience. But you don't ever lose functionality. It's always there. So you have a depth of capability, and that is a tremendous value in the TriCaster platform. The other thing you'll begin to understand as you dig into the way that the TriCaster user interface works is that its main software interface really allows a single user to pull off an entire production. And in the real world, this is a very sellable attribute. And while it's great, it may not be the best use case in the classroom environment, where really the goal for you as educators is to best simulate a team-based approach to live production. So to promote both the ease of use of the system and the simultaneous use of the TriCaster by multiple production positions at the same time, the TriCaster Mini 4K offers a web browser-based interface called Live Panel. Now, Live Panel extends the operational control of the TriCaster out to any local computer or tablet with a web browser, whether they're Windows, Mac, Android, or Apple. This makes the cost of adding additional positions in your production to your show very affordable, and it's likely you might be able to repurpose devices that you already have on hand. Now, in this model, each member can tackle a different production job, and each control a different aspect of the same TriCaster, so the value goes up. Right? So to look at this a little more closely, let's walk through a workgroup workflow. And I'm going to use the morning announcements as the model here. Let's walk through each of the team roles and see how the TriCaster can get all the kids involved as a team to build a great show. And we'll start with the technical director. Now, this is the person, right, responsible for what is visually being sent out to the audience. And this position will very likely use the main interface of the TriCaster and a traditional hardware control surface. Now, while this is the best option for teaching the feel of a broadcast-style workflow, the TriCaster can be fully operated via software interface using keyboard and mouse. So if you're just getting started and you're particularly budget constrained, grab the TriCaster, get started with keyboard and mouse, and in subsequent budget cycles, you can come back and grab that control surface as necessary. Now let's move over to, in this case, what would be the first removed position from the main TriCaster user interface, and that's the audio operator. Now this is pretty straightforward. The audio operator will mic up the talent in the studio, and they'll really mix all the sound from talent, any audio and video content that's being played back by the TriCaster, like the audio from the package, any sound effects, music, etc. And we really want to make a balanced blend of audio. And in addition to that, they might have to mute some things that really shouldn't be making its way onto air, right? So the TriCaster, of course, in the main user interface offers great capabilities built in for this. However, if we take a look over at this other machine, you'll see that I also have access to the mixer via live panel from a second device. Now I've got a second person involved in the production team. Now let's move on to what I'll call the media operator. Now, back when I got started, this position was called the tape operator, but I have a funny feeling that if I walked into a classroom today and tried to explain tape to either students and in some cases teachers, they might look at me like I have a third eye in the middle of my head, but that's okay, right? The role is still the same. This person organizes and plays all show-related content, beginnings and ends of shows, supportive audio, video clips, and even pre-edited media. Again, here inside of the TriCaster, the main user interface makes this easy for one person to do. However, in building a team, we can turn our attention back to live panel and see that yet on another machine, I can hand somebody a tablet and say, here are all the tools I need to storyboard clips, control playback, scrub media, even set in points and out points directly from this browser-based interface. And again, I'm getting another teammate involved in the production at the same time. Now, we wouldn't have much action if we didn't have live cameras in the studio. And to be honest, this position will vary a bit depending on the types of cameras you have in your studio and how you have them set up. But if I can make a suggestion, and you were to have NewTek PTZ cameras, this position can use a Windows PC and our free software NDI Studio Monitor to control one or more compatible PTZ cameras, even with something as inexpensive as a wireless PC game controller. And what kid wouldn't love to do that, right? Now, in addition to the on-screen talent and the rolling video, we also need some graphics. And so that's where the graphics operator comes in. And this person's role is really to offer the right titles and on-screen graphics during the show. Now, to get you started, NewTek offers a ton of templates here to get you going. But over time, I'm betting that your kids are probably going to want to give your show your own look. So, the TriCaster Mini 4K also supports the creation of graphics and industry standard tools like Photoshop and After Effects by way of what NewTek calls live graphics technology. When you make templates in Photoshops and After Effects, they can be pre-populated with information, but you can even on the fly update these titles with text and photo right inside the TriCaster, or creating that other production position again via live panel. Now, in this position, probably going to have this be a PC, but you're certainly going to want to have something with a keyboard because you're going to be typing. I have easy access to that. Now, talent on screen wouldn't have much to say if they couldn't see a script, but they need to be able to see the script and look at the camera at the same time, much like I'm doing here today. So that's called teleprompting, and in our world, the tool we have for that is what's called Live Story Creator, and it's a standard feature of, you guessed it, the TriCaster Mini 4K. Now, in this flow for us, scripts can be created in any Microsoft Word compatible application. These scripts can easily be pushed out to displays using our free tool again, NDI Studio Monitor on PCs, or as I'm doing, I'm displaying it in Live Panel on a tablet. This is another great, easy, and inexpensive way in order to make it easy for your production crew to come together. In this case, too, you'll see that I also have an optional jog shuttle wheel attached to the system so that I can control the pace of the prompt output. Now, an additional benefit to Live Story Creator is that scripts can optionally include instructions to control the TriCaster, right? This is done through the document formatting and commenting functions of Word-compatible apps. This is actually more helpful than you think it might be, in that it can help you teach students about thinking about the structure of a show and what's going to happen in a show right from the scripting process. And as you rotate fresh faces into the technical director's role, it can help those kids pull off complex visual things by use of these embedded templates rather than trying to do it on the fly first time go around. So when they're first sitting in the director's chair, live story creator and automation can be a big help. Now, thinking beyond what's just going on in your local studio, what about your live shots from around campus, right? Your man on the street, your reporter in the field. Well, NewTek can help you there too. A background and underlying technology developed by NewTek and part of our NDI team is a technology called NDI, which stands for Network Device Interface. What this essentially allows is the IT network on your campus could potentially be the way to feed back on-the-scene reporters back to the TriCaster control room in the classroom. In this case, cameras could be something as simple as mobile phones running an NDI-compatible application, which actually comes free with the TriCaster Mini 4K. Or if you've got, say, traditional handycams, for example, the Mini 4K will come with a couple of devices called Sparks. This allows you to take their traditional video outputs, plug it into these devices, make that network friendly, and have it come back to the TriCaster, again, for your school's network. Now, what about video editing? How can we tie that together? And I'll tell you, the TriCaster is not a video editor, right? However, content that is edited by your students in tools from Adobe and other applications can be loaded into the media players of the TriCaster for playback, again, by the media operator. This gives you, as an instructor and a school overall, a great opportunity to tie in a curriculum of live production, what's going on in the studio with the TriCaster, and post-production, where people are going to go shoot, edit, and create content. Now, to make this work even more streamlined, we have a very large line of large storage platforms, which we call NRS, which stands for NewTek Remote Storage. In this case, those storage appliances can act as a work group library for multiple editors in the TriCaster to collaborate at the same time. Reporters and editors go out in the field, they shoot, they come back, they create a package, the package goes onto the NRS, the TriCaster can pick it up off there directly, even without moving the file, and play it back as part of the production. Now, that's pretty top tier stuff, and that may sound a little bit complicated to you, but that's okay. NewTek wants to empower you to face your students with confidence. So as education customers, NewTek offers you complimentary access to NewTek University. This is an online, self-paced knowledge book dedicated to educating users all about things NewTek, including TriCaster operation. Now, in addition, you and your students also have the option of fee-based TriCaster operation certification, which is available through that site as well. Additionally, for you as instructors, we've got your back with sample classroom curriculum for TriCaster, which is available in our Pro Services department as well. In summary, the TriCaster is the all-in-one production system, which offers a cost-effective model to allow multi-student participation. This is what educators are looking for in a classroom, all while teaching technical skills students will need and using an interface flow that they'll find familiar as they move into the professional world. Now, also mentioned, beyond just the TriCaster and related production systems, with that underlying NDI technology, NewTek and NDI is innovating technology in ways and workflows which are already impacting today the way that broadcasters and live content creators connect with each other and do work every day. We hope that your school or district will join the many other schools and districts already teaching and making great content with NewTek. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Alex Udell. Have a great day. I'm Alex Udell.
Thank you, Alex. I really want to thank you for putting together that demo for us. It really does a great job of highlighting a lot of the features of the TriCaster Mini 4K. And one of the things I want to talk about is how the TriCaster interface and the way to use the software is the same, whether we're talking about the Mini 4K or even some of your more advanced broadcast products like the TC1, the TriCaster 1 Pro, and the TriCaster 2 Elite. So the TriCaster systems have the perfect fit production system regardless of what kind of capabilities you're getting involved in. Videoguys.com is a great source for the TriCaster Mini 4K, and it's a great system to get involved in NDI production and live production with all the features and capabilities that Alex just showed off. But the TriCaster 1, TC1, TriCaster
Yes.
1 Pro, and the TriCaster 2 Elite might be a fit in some higher end workflow application stories if you're bringing in remote guests, if you're looking to do a D1 broadcast where you need some of these higher end broadcast tools. And we have a huge nationwide network of NewTek certified installers who are ready to work with you on these higher end TriCaster systems to help make sure we get the right system into your schools. If you have an integrator that you're working with already, give us a call and we can help identify if they're a TriCaster certified installer or connect you with one in your area. Alex, I also love that you mentioned NewTek University. NewTek University is probably one of my favorite things that NewTek has done over the last couple of years. I know we are actually offering some certification on NewTek University as a prize for EduStream TV. But I wanted to ask you a little bit about the NewTek U classes and about the certification. Exactly how many classes, what kind of stuff is available there for teachers to access?
So really, we use NewTek University. Rich in terms of what's available. So that can go everywhere from general TriCaster.
Alex, I had to mute you. We have some background audio coming in on your side. It sounds like there's a video or something playing in the background.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's me. How about that?
That is much better. That is much
sorry
better.
About that.
So now
I wrote a safety copy of the video just in case. My apologies on that one. So yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem.
So NewTek University really is the portal that we use to educate both our our end users and also our channel partners. So you'll find that there's a great deal of information that's available there on operation of really all our products. And for those of you that want to look deeper beyond just the operation of a single platform, if you want to start thinking about the theory behind how you can actually grow things in a network-based way utilizing our NDI technology, we can talk about how you can tie things together in terms of infrastructure. And even if you're not going to do that stuff yourself and you're going to rely on many of our great channel partners that are out there to help you, as you probably should, right? Yep. It's good to have a good idea of where this is going to go and sort of what the capabilities are so that you know when you go to ask questions, you'll have a pretty good idea whether something is possible. So overall, it's a great value for on-demand education and knowledge of all the products overall.
Absolutely, and I don't want to understate the value of the certification either. Being a TriCaster certified operator is a real resume line item that your students can put on their resume for a prospective job search that says they've invested in live production and streaming. They've invested in their future with this technology, and they're certified by NewTek to do so. And the guys in my studio here actually have that certification, and I can tell you, getting that certification and passing that exam is not an easy task.
Yeah, you'll really have your chops if you go all the way through and get the certification, and that brings up two really good broad points, which is a lot of the thought that goes into the design of how the TriCaster interface works, is that it in software interface it parallels the things that you find in the real world. So whether once you exit the educational space and you're going out into the professional space as an actual operator, whether you're operating directly on a TriCaster, which you'll find many out there, or you're moving on to other platforms, all those same thoughts and the things about preview program and the T-bar and MEs and keying and all those things still apply. So none of that knowledge goes by the wayside, even in general when you move out into the professional world.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today.